This little kitty here. Hello. And welcome to Wednesday Broadcast Live with Rachel, your new mom coach and lactation consultant. So today I'm talking about shifting identities, and it's a story of a client. And I think this is going to be a really important share for any families who've had babies in the NICU. And for that matter, any role that you have on and how it's going to impact your child and the behavior that you take, how that impacts your child's trajectory. So welcome. If you are here joining me live, just post a comment in the down below, and I'd love to know if you're here, what's your experience. Did you have a baby in the NICU? How did that impact your relationship to your identity, yourself? How did that impact how you mother? Are you noticing that you're a little rigid? Okay. So definitely put in the comments, who you are, what your baby experience. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your experience has been, whether it's with birth and labor and delivery, or with breastfeeding. So welcome to Wednesday with Rachel. And I'm excited to be here with you and share this story today, because I think it's a really important story that you can resonate with just as a human being, but what we experience, who we are, how we show up in the world is going to impact how your children are as well. And so you may not realize the impact that having a baby in the NICU has on your parenting journey, which it may not be a choice, and it may be subconsciously this way that you are relating to your baby, your life, yourself, that you just have no idea. And with my client, she didn't know. And we didn't know until we started coaching together and working together. And what she realized was that how that experience still lingers in her life, and she hasn't gotten through the experience yet, what she called trauma. And so she has to resolve it, right? And that wouldn't happen unless she had someone like myself to work her through that, right? So it's really, really important about these experiences together here, just these stories that I can share with you, is that if you're noticing, if you're relating, if you're experiencing these, maybe you had a traumatic experience with hospital, then these lives are going to be, hitting home, resonating. And then, hey, you might want to reach out to talk with me or talk with someone about these, how you can shift. So let me share the story. So it's not a long story. She had a baby and he went to the NICU. He was, he was there for a few weeks. And so through conversation, she realized that she was feeling rigid, and she was responding to her baby with rigidness that didn't feel right in her body. It didn't feel aligned and truthful to who she was, right? And so she asked herself, why am I rigid? And she looked like that, like, why are you rigid? Why are you doing that? And so what I pointed out is that sometimes when you have a baby in the NICU and your baby was there a while, and it's a time, birth is a time where you're very open and things can imprint during that time very, very, very deeply. And when she's so open and she's in the NICU, in the hospital, and the nurses and the doctors are worried and concerned and kind of rigid, right? That can be transferred, and she can take on that identity. That those memories can implant a character trait or a behavior, even an identity, right? I'm a NICU mom. And being a NICU mom means that I have to be rigid because my baby is so vulnerable. And watch out, watch out, watch out, and be careful. And that can really, really limit the freedom to be who he needs to be in his life. And when that freedom is removed from our behavior, our identity, who we are, that passes on trauma, that passes on limitations in that little child's life. And we don't want that for our children, right? So we have to free ourselves first of our blockages. And what was beautiful is that she recognized this through my help. And she realized, I can see that I'm rigid, but that's not who I am. I am not rigid. I might have had an experience in the NICU, but I'm not a NICU mom. So that was a huge identity shift for her. And she recognized like how that imprinted in her body. And so then we work through that release together, me and her. And if you are feeling, if this resonates, if you're feeling that that is something you also have had that experience and you're noticing that you're that way, I want you to know that children are resilient. Children are babies, people, humans. We're all resilient and have the potential for growth and change and resiliency, meaning even though there was that experience, right? Your baby, your NICU baby made it through. And we're really grateful for the hospital, for medical attention, for babies being saved every single day in the neonatal intensive care unit. We are very, very, very grateful for that. Modern science is an amazing support structure for our souls. And I'm deeply grateful for those nurses and doctors who work there every single day and save lives. But the thing that we don't get support with afterwards, the moms who are in there, they don't get support from moving on and healing. Okay? So if this is resonating with you, I would love to have a conversation with you about this to see how you can also get that through your body. And maybe this video has helped and you were like, I've got it, moving on. But maybe there's more. Maybe there's deeper healing that needs to happen. Maybe you're just really not, you're maybe feeling stuck. Maybe you had even deeper trauma and you're really someone who needs help and needs that support of moving on from this. Because what happens is that sometimes that deeper trauma moves into a layer of mood or anxiety or depression that you just cannot move through, and you need help. And if that's you, then I recommend definitely reaching out. If you know anyone who is struggling like this, I definitely recommend reaching out for a lifeline. Okay, because these places can stay stuck in our bodies for a long time, and you can create that identity and you can stay with that identity. It happens that the identity stays for the rest of your lives if you don't recognize this, and if you don't take the action steps, and if you don't take the necessary steps to move through this, your children or child is going to continue to have that identity. And we don't want that for our children. We want our children to be free, to express, to move, to be without limitations of be careful because you're a NICU baby. That's rigid. Okay. So good. So good. So good. All right. So the way that you can find me, the best way is I want you to send me a personal message through Facebook. And I'm Rachel Simpson. And that's my personal. You can find me on personal Facebook, or Rachel Simpson, comma IBCLC is my professional business page. So you can reach me there either. So either way, reach out with a DM. And what we'll do is we'll just start the conversation and get you some of that support. Right. So listen, I hope that this has been helpful at all, and I will. I love to hear what you would love me to talk about, speak about, and so if you're listening, if you're out there and this reached you, and you have other topics, then please, please, please send me a message, because I would love to speak about what you want to speak about, what's on your heart, what you need to shift, what's really coming up for you in your journey as a new mom, in your journey in an expansive place. Like birth is this expansive place, but a lot of times we have contraction. We have these contractions in that time, and we don't need to stay stuck there. We can move it through. And I want to hear from you. What is your expansion? What's your contraction? And where can you fill up in your biggest place, so that your experience of being a new mom is something that is satisfying, enjoyable, where you're not feeling like, the martyr, you're stuck. So I just want you to know that support is there for you. And I am happy to talk with you about what I offer, what can be on the table. And so just send me a personal message and we'll chat. And I'm looking forward to hearing from my community out there. So that being said, thank you so much for joining me. If you popped in, if you want to leave a comment, I think you have to download. Nope. That's for me. I think you have to download, what do you call this app? Where are we? StreamYard. I'm streaming live with StreamYard. So if you want to comment, I think you have to download this. So that's it for me. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you next week. Bye now.